Gamer's Tale. Here we have the discussion no one asked for and no one expects to see, except we're doing it. I have Sithress Siren, I have Josh, I have four names, and they are going to be discussing The Last Jedi, which I have not seen. So I'll be sitting back calmly and drinking. Because this is going to get interesting. So, other than that, it's the second movie of the new trilogy. That's about it. So I'm going to hand it off to them to initiate everything else after this.
Okay, I mean, just before we start, I just want to preface everything with, if you liked it, cool. If you didn't like it, you don't like it, that's cool. Doesn't mean, we're not like super, like weak ass fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, because
also, before we start, if you have not seen it, major spoiler is gonna go down. So go ahead and turn off this fucking podcast, or else you're gonna get mad.
And also, our opinions on this do not matter.
Yeah, they don't matter. They're our own and only our own.
Yes, you can take sides, you can agree, but doesn't necessarily mean they're the truth. They're opinions. Remember, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Agreed.
And you pay for it as much as you get. Absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
Well, I guess I'll begin because ladies first, right?
Sure.
Patriarchy.
Yeah, we'll go with it. I went into The Last Jedi, the premiere, the day of it released, and I had high hopes. Seeing the trailer for it, I mean, it looked amazing, and honestly, in my opinion, it did not disappoint. I loved every fucking thing about it. There was things I didn't agree with, but I mean, that's Star Wars. There's something in every film that I have not always agreed with. But this one did not disappoint me at all. It was new, it was different. It literally did not go the way I expected. Kind of like, basically what Luke said. Hate to, brings Luke's lines into this, but it didn't go the way I expected. And I was not disappointed at all. I got to see more of Kylo. I got to see his character develop into so much more than I expected, and that was really what I was looking forward to. Also, Rey, also seeing Luke, Mark Hamill back on the big screen, doing his thing was really amazing.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
So, what specifically did you like about it?
I definitely liked. It was very different. It started off super crazy. I think the last one that I really enjoyed that instantly started in a battle was Revenge of the Sith. I mean, with Obi-Wan and Anakin, trying to save Palpatine. That instant war. It didn't preface with anything. Like, you were thrown into it. It was funny. The scene between Poe and Hux was pretty hilarious. Maybe a little bit overdone on the comedy in that scene, but I thought it was very clever. It was very funny. Immediate sacrifices in the movie, people were dying from the get-go. I mean, that was really cool. With Rose Tico's, sister, doing her bomber thing, almost dying, but and then dying actually, really. Seeing Kylo, I think Kylo Ren is the absolute love of my life, and seeing what happens to him, how it's like in The Force Awakens, he felt more weak than he did powerful, and then halfway through this movie, something just snaps in him, and he turns insane. This man goes nuts. I mean, he's the fucking supreme leader now. Snoke's dead. Spoiler, Snoke fucking got chopped in half by Rey's lightsaber by Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren killed Snoke. He is now the supreme leader. And just seeing that happen was awesome because Kylo is our true leader. He is what we need as a dark side lover, But Kylo, definitely, that was my also, I mean, that character right there. I haven't loved a character like that since I've loved Anakin, aka Darth Vader. So definitely Kylo. What about you, Josh?
The action scenes were cool. I like the action scenes. I mean, the masterful way that Poe, flew that X-wing. Space battles was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lightsaber duel, I would probably give it like out of 10, probably like a 6.5 maybe. It was kind of intense, kind of sort of intense, but that's kind of what I got from like the whole like theme of the movie. Like thematically, everything was like kind of sort of intense.
Right.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. I disagree, but I mean the Snoke's guards versus Kylo and Rey. I mean that was pretty intense, for me at least, because you see them team up together to basically kill these guards, and I mean these guards are not normal stormtroopers. I mean, like they don't shoot to miss. They are trained. They are professional fighters.
They're kind of sort of trained. I mean,
dude, they are totally trained. They put up.
They're kind of sort of trained.
No. There's no way they would have lasted as long as they did. I mean, they put Kylo. You could see Kylo was when he was fighting all those Praetorial guards. You could see that Kylo had met his fucking match on a few of them. One of them even got him in a chokehold, even though the Rey and Kylo were a little bit smarter. But
I'm still kind of wondering why he didn't use like any of his force powers. I mean,
he was distracted. The love of his life was in the room. I mean, come on, like what are you doing?
You mean he killed the love of his life?
No, he didn't kill Rey. Rey's the love of his life.
No, he killed
Hashtag Reylo. Hashtag Reylo. Nope. Reylo supporter. Yeah. There was so much Reylo in this movie, and it was amazing.
I mean, I guess I didn't really get like the chemistry between them.
The chemistry is there, my boy. But you are a man, and men don't see chemistry. Hate to say it, you gotta pull the sex card. Men don't see that type of shit because you don't pay attention to that type of shit because you weren't paying attention.
Oh, I was paying attention. It wasn't as bad though as like the cringy Finn. What was her name? Rose.
Finn and Rose. That we could have done without. Yeah, we didn't need that. We didn't. Yeah, that's one thing I'll agree with. We did not need that.
That whole arc right there was just that was worthless, and then it didn't advance the plot at all.
Yeah, I mean, so what was the whole? What's the whole reason for and Finn jaunting off to Monte Carlo just to like ridicule some rich people?
That scene was pretty fucking stupid. I will admit, we did not.
Did you see that one scene where they were like she was looking at those like abused like, horse animals, and then all of a sudden you hear like some inspirational music.
Oh, it's like, I'm gonna let these horses go, be free. But also, we have slave children over here that they need to be set free because they're actually like species, like they're actually like living, breathing creatures that'll make a difference in the world. But let's go, fuck these kids. It's basically
no. Let's just save these these abused animals and just like totally invalidate like the whole reason why we're here. I mean, that was what I kind of got from like thematically for the rest of the story. It's kind of like why? I mean, I don't understand like why they even put that in there.
I personally, I love the mansplaining that they did in it, which is like a super like it was
what
the mansplaining.
What?
Yeah, mansplaining.
What is that?
Okay, first of all,
no such thing. No such thing.
Poe Dameron in this movie was so toxic. I cannot even. He deserved to die after what he tried to fucking pull. And I'm not.
I gotta break in here. Have you ever met an Italian New Yorker?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Pretty much what I feel I get of how they behave.
It's this is where I'm kind of getting like like that whole thing with the leadership after Leia gets incapacitated. So, what was the whole reason?
Right there was annoying.
Yeah. How much of a failure? How much of a failure would you have to have as a leader to not be able to keep your people in line?
Holdo?
Yeah.
No.
Holdo and the rest of them. I mean, how
First
much
of
of a
all,
failure do you have to be, to
how
do
much
that?
of
And
a
then
fucking asshole do you have to be to not listen to your immediate supervisor?
there's literally no reason why she couldn't have told anybody about the plan.
There could have. Okay, first of all, it's not up to you to question that because it wasn't your fleet. She doesn't have. First of all, number one, she didn't have to explain anything to Poe. It's not her fucking job. First of all, Poe needs to trust in this woman. Oh, and the other thing. Oh, that's Captain Holdo. Oh, that's not what I expected. Is it because she's
No,
a
I don't
woman?
care about
Is
that.
it
I
because
don't
she's
care
a
about
woman?
that. Yeah, she's a
Yes.
woman. Whatever, dude.
Well, he made it
Whatever.
seem. Yeah, no, but that's where the mansplaining comes in. He made it seem.
No, I'm
like,
not gonna turn this. I'm not gonna turn this into like a sex thing because it's not.
No.
It's not a sex. It's not a
I'm
male
pointing.
female kind of thing.
Well, right,
It's
but
not.
you're gonna agree with me. But in this movie, it was, and it's
No,
undeniable.
I don't agree with that. I think it's not because she's a woman. I think it's because she was showing weak leadership.
She wasn't showing weak leadership. She ended up saving all of their asses. Poe
Right.
risked
How
the entire fucking thing because he couldn't take no for an answer. And you know what?
Okay. I agree with that.
Leia slapped the shit out of him for that.
No, I agree with that.
She
Okay,
laid
that's
hands
great.
on him
Insubordination.
so hard.
Okay, great. So wait, why did her sacrifice become so necessary? I mean, couldn't they
Because
have like?
Poe fucked it up.
No,
Poe fucked it up.
nah, I don't think it's that. I mean, they were gonna fuck up anyway because they're already on their last leg. So, like, why did she need to sacrifice herself? Like, couldn't it have been like a contingency already that I'm gonna ram the ship, and Snoke's flagship?
No. It wouldn't have happened if Poe, Finn, and Rose didn't fucking try to go get that coder and go on and take off the light speed tracker in the Imperial. It never would have happened. That coder wouldn't have ratted them out to the First Order. Maybe Poe, Rose, and Finn.
No, it's their capture had nothing to do with the whole thing. I mean,
yeah,
they didn't really.
Do you not remember? Do you not remember the coder turning on them in order to save his own ass between Captain Phasma and Finn? He was just like, "It's business." When they were like, "You fucking traitor," he was like, "It's just business."
They were there to turn it off. So like, what would their capture have to do anything with a thing? They were getting tracked already anyway.
But the little pod ships that were taking the survivors of the rebel ship, no one was paying attention to them. Leia explained it. No one is paying attention to the pod ships. They're tracking the immediate ship. They weren't tracking little tiny escape crafts. That's the whole point of the freaking thing. But because
so you're telling me like the brilliant, the most brilliant military minds of the Imperial First Order army aren't going to think of anything like that. Did they or did they not see through that ruse?
The only reason that they saw through it is because the coder told them. They probably.
Stop me right there. Neither Poe, Finn, or Rose knew about the pod ships. They didn't know. Okay.
But the coder did.
How would the coder know? Or in essence, then tell the First Order? There's no way he could have known.
The scene right before they got captured, where I believe it was either Finn or Rose that was talking to Poe back on the ship. Poe was like, that basically gave him the lowdown of what the fuck was happening. The coder was standing right there. He was like, "You need to get your ass to the ship now because we're fleeing this bitch." Like, of course, the coder was right there. The coder told everything to the First Order. He explained everything for his life and money. But it's just business, right? To save his own ass. He's not just kind of like he explained that not only do these people on this planet, this expensive planet, these weapon crafters, not only do they sell to the First Order, but they also sell to the rebels. It's just business. It's just business. That's what he explained. But the coder told everything.
I'm still not convinced it was like on the coder, just because brilliant military minds will have seen through that. I mean, really?
Well, both. I mean, you can't. Military
no,
mind.
really.
I mean, that goes both sides. Both sides fuck up enormously. In this movie, it seemed
And
like
and that's the
great
thing. Why
military
didn't they just like jump ahead? You know, because they're being chased. Oh, we're running out of fuel. Why didn't they just jump ahead, sacrifice a quarter of their fleet to take out one flagship?
They didn't
Doesn't
want to
make sense.
sacrifice anything. They sacrificed one person. That Holdo sacrificed herself to save
No,
the
I'm
fleet.
talking about like the Imperials. Why didn't they, or the First Order? Why didn't they like jump ahead?
I believe they probably didn't think they could afford that. They're
whole fleet?
selfish.
It's just nah. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know. See, this is my thing with the whole storytelling aspect of this. Like the script wasn't really that good. If you have to explain all these things, it doesn't just flow off, and it's easy to understand. You have a pretty bad script. So
But
I don't
that's
know.
not necessarily true, because it's not. Star Wars isn't. That's the beauty. That's the meta of Star Wars. It's not always going to be explainable. There's always going to be deeper
That's
things
true,
that you
but
need to pick up on. That's the beauty of
with
Star
all
Wars.
these,
That's why the fans love it. It's not just surface,
plot
and that's
holes,
what this
man.
movie was.
No, it's not. I mean, I disagree with you at least. Yeah, it's I don't know. If you have to if people have to explain all these things and what the possibilities are, I mean, it's not a good script.
I disagree with that. I think if you look deeper into something, not everything's going to seem like it is on the surface. And I think that's what really intrigues so many Star Wars fans, is that it's not just there on the surface. People can theorize and
This is my problem with them. They tried turning into like Star Wars into like a high drama, which it never was.
it is it's
I mean, no, like
the
what they
genre
did with
literally is space drama. Like it's like
yeah, but
space
they tried to
opera.
turn it
That's
into
what
like
it
a
is.
high drama. Like, oh, Luke is such a broken man. I'm like, okay, well, like, I guess that could happen.
But here's the thing.
Why?
Here's the flaws with
I
that.
mean,
Here's the flaws with that. That's not. It's like you're putting every single problem with every movies on just this movie.
no, I'm not talking about
Was
any of the other movies.
Anakin
I'm
was
not
the
talking
most
about.
broken man in space, and Kylo Ren, honestly, or Luke, honestly, will never be able to surpass Anakin's brokenness. That man literally dehumanized himself to become a mass killing machine, and the ability, just if you have that ability, that alone is scary. Like this
why
movie
though?
is dramatic. This movie is.
But why though?
But
it
why?
was never meant to be like that. Yeah.
What do you mean it was never meant to be?
I mean, it wasn't like that in the trilogy, original trilogy, and the prequels. They're not like that. I mean, it didn't really translate.
No,
like
explain to me what they're not.
Anakin's brokenness. It's not.
But the trilogy wasn't about Darth Vader or who Darth Vader used to be. The trilogy was about a young boy finding himself in his way in the Jedi ways, learning about who he was, gaining new friends, love between Leia and Han, the growth of that. That's not what.
See, that was nice. I like that. It translated to the audience. Like for me, it didn't translate. The new trilogy does not. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that the emotion that to something that makes a movie like good with the new movie. I like The Force Awakens. It was okay, but just like the prequels were okay, down what anyone else says. But
the prequels were fucking amazing. Revenge of the Sith is
they were okay.
That is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Just because.
Which one?
Revenge of the Sith, man. Revenge of the Sith. That's my. It's Revenge of the Sith and then Empire Strikes Back. Those are my go-tos. But Revenge of the Sith, number one, and here's the reason I love Star Wars is because of that drama. Is because of the fucking emotion that it gives you. Like
Like, I mean, like,
by like kill
what kind of
everything.
emotion for the new movie? Let's talk about the movie. What kind of emotion like was there? I mean, we had that whole cringy like Finn and Rose. Did you guys cringe when she pecked? You know, when she pecked his lips.
Yeah, it was kind of
When
gross.
she get,
It was kind of
was
not
that what?
necessary.
Not, right? So you know, stuff like that, and you know that whole like for me that whole Rey and Kylo like relationship. I didn't see that. I just saw a girl like, hey, you know, I just saw two friends, maybe acquaintances. I didn't
No,
see any
it was
attraction at
weird.
all.
Here's a for instance that once again maybe you're not paying attention closely, but the elevator scene between Kylo and Rey was one of the most very intense like Raylo scenes that I have seen yet, because they're in the elevator and she says his name, and the way he looks at her, like he was hard at first. He was trying to be Kylo. He just captured his master's, one true prisoner that he wants. He's hard. But she said, she literally just says the word Ben, and everything in him goes soft. I mean, like his eyes, like the look he gives her is just something of a broken man in love. And like that shit, you either read into it or you don't. You can pick it up or you can't. And you're just one of those people that can't pick it up. But me
Okay.
personally, I can.
Okay.
I
All
can.
right.
I picked it up. And dude, I mean, just watch it again, when it comes out on DVD, or go see it again, and just watch the subtle facial expressions that Adam Driver, I mean, fantastic actor already. I mean, he puts 200% into every single
I
move
can
he
agree with
makes.
this. I can agree with you know, like Adam Driver being a great actor.
Yeah, I mean, he
But I mean,
puts.
everyone else really wasn't. I mean,
I mean,
Ray kind of.
Daisy Ridley was great.
You know, she was there. Yeah, I would say yes. But you know, like
Luke,
Poe,
Po-
Terry Fisher,
Pope,
Mark
like I
Hamill.
said,
Mm,
dramatic person. Poe
no,
honestly should not even exist in my opinion. He's a worthless
yeah,
character. He really, I mean,
and so was Snoke and Phasma. But okay, like, I'll give them that because you know, Boba Fett,
dude,
whatever.
first of
Okay.
all, Phasma 100% necessary. First female to really show, the first female dark side representer, technically, I guess. She's not really, I mean, she's not like Sith or anything, but like she
She should have
represents.
been Sith. There's someone that you know we should have had. You know, Sith.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I mean,
honestly, honestly, I think it's good to move on from something
it.
that died. Like rebirth, it's like a fucking phoenix. It's reborn from its
So I
ashes.
mean, I don't. I struggle to understand like, or you know, I struggle to think of what they can go. You know, what direction they can go in and make it still interesting.
Well, you'll just have to see. I mean,
Well, no, let's see.
if
Let's
you
think
don't
about
like
it.
it,
I
you don't
mean,
like it. But if you do, you do.
right,
Honestly,
and I agree with that. Okay, great.
I mean, the direction they could go in. Honestly, what I think they're gonna. Here's something that tipped me off at the end. That is going to be the number one factor of episode 9, is the whole redemption arc that's about to happen for Ben Solo. I mean, because when right before, the kiss between Finn and Rose, like she says those wise words, and I'm putting quotation marks around the wise words. It's like, instead of destroying things we hate, we save the things we love. And Rey loves Kylo, so that's a tip off for what's soon to be. Rey is going to try to redeem the man that she loves, because she does love him. She gave him.
So like my you know, so you're looking at this in like a romantic perspective kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's
I
also
understand.
but it's also a redemption arc. Like, it's not just romance. It's it's basically the story of Revan and Bastilla. Like, that's
Right.
exactly what it's going to be. But it's also, at the same time, like, it's not necessarily like it could be a redemption arc, but it could also be overall balance of everything. Kylo might not come back from the dark, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't continue to live. So it might just be a balance. Literally the Force will balance it
So I didn't
together.
see any. I didn't see any like dark side. You know, like like irrationality with him, like I saw with with Anakin in
But dude,
episode 3.
Kylo was completely irrational. The dude, first of all, it's like he shut down all thought, like every single fucking thought he ever had as soon as he saw Luke walking out of that base in the last battle scene.
And
It's
the
like
thing that kind of gets me with that is, instead of him, making him look like the super villain that everyone should fear, it kind of made him look like a little bitch. But like, oh, fire everything
It
you got.
did, yeah.
Instead of like, like treating it, as like a challenge, like man to man, he goes up and he fires everything at him. And that's, I think that was unnecessary for the story. Just because,
dude, I think it was completely necessary. That's because that is literally right there. That is Kylo's character development. This man,
so like
he goes,
like an impudent child,
yes,
like an
he
impudent
goes
child.
from a broken boy to literally a infuriated toddler. He is in the infuriated toddler state right now. This kid is fucking up,
and it doesn't translate. I'm with you there, but it doesn't translate like in terms of like the story. Like is he someone we should be afraid of? I mean,
dude, absolutely. Like I
okay.
don't know about you, but like
I mean,
a
like,
whiny
okay.
a whiny baby, like episode
Like,
7
what I'm
was
trying to
whiny
convey
baby
is-
Kylo. I would be more terrified of a freaking infuriated toddler than I would a whiny baby. That's my because that motherfucker's gonna try to fuck you up.
And what I'm trying to convey is that like Darth Vader didn't need to have anything like that. When he came on the screen, he was Darth Vader. Like you don't fuck with this guy.
That's not. But that's
I
not
don't-
true. That's actually extremely not true. I don't know if you are familiar with any of the Marvel Darth Vader comics, but between
No, let's like strictly comic or strictly movies. Strictly movies. I mean, this is when he came like onto the scene. This is a bad guy. You don't mess with him. He's really strong. I don't get that with Kylo Ren. And I guess they're gonna try to do that. Make him into something like different, but it feels kind of half-assed. Versus the other stories.
But it's not, dude. It's not. That's not half-assed at all. You're not looking at Kylo in the correct light. I mean, you want structure with your bad. You're looking too much in the past to Darth Vader to realize that this.
Well, the reason why I mentioned that, I understand, but no, I do understand. Yeah, right, and he is. He's like a toddler, but I mean, how does that drive the story? I mean,
because I mean,
like there's no like overarching like goal. There's no the characters don't seem like they have any conviction. Like, why are they there? It seems to me like the story is just like happening, and they're just in it.
But that's unfair. Okay, to put Kylo into that situation is unfair. Because
no, not just Kylo,
the spotlight's
on
him.
The rest of the cast too. I mean, it seems like everything is just happening to them. Like,
I mean,
like it was like oh shit, something happened. Okay, okay.
But that's Star Wars, man. Everything just fucking happens. Like it's not.
You don't. What I'm trying to say is that, like the reason I like the original trilogy so much was you could really like relate. Oh, this guy just got his whole world turned upside down, and he's got to do something, and then he's got to train to become stronger. There's like a progression to the story. I really don't get that with like the new trilogy. I thought like The Force Awakens was gonna set something up like that for episode 8 and episode 9.
But that's exactly what happened to Rey. Her world got turned around. She stepped on a ship. She stepped on the Millennium Falcon, and everything turned to shit for her. She found out she was a Jedi. She wanted to know where she came from, and which.
So where did she come from? I mean,
Kylo straight lied to her. I'm not gonna lie. Kylo straight lied.
I think she might be like a Kenobi, but I mean,
yeah.
My whole thing is that like that whole island scene with Luke, and I think you'll agree with me with this four names. But yeah, that whole island scene with Luke, he didn't teach her a damn thing. Like we don't get that. We don't get that. Like
You don't get
progression.
the Yoda that he had on Gamma, and that's what really just fucking pisses me off about that movie. I was going in there thinking Luke would be Rey's Yoda. He wasn't. He was just there. He didn't
He
do
was
a
just
damn thing.
exactly. So like it
And then
feels
he
like
went out. Then towards the end, when he just disappeared, it's like, really? I was
yeah,
so
it's just like
underwhelmed.
me too, man.
It was horrible.
Like I mean, like Ray just has all the powers, like hashtag all the powers, without having to train for anything. It feels like she cheated. If that makes any
I don't
sense.
necessarily agree with that. Like, okay, the whole Luke thing, I get why people are mad. I'm not mad about it.
Dude, this guy was like, he was like deaf by sight,
Yeah,
I was
but
like,
this guy was like this guy is like a demigod,
who
the most
Luke?
powerful force user ever.
I
Since well,
I
with
disagree
the
with
new
you on that.
right.
Luke was Luke is a step down from his father. Darth Vader was one of the most powerful Force users ever.
I don't know. He got beat.
Luke was a percentage. Yeah, he got beat. He changed.
He got beat.
But
anyway.
there's things that Darth Vader could do that, I mean, of course, like if we get a Darth Vader anthology movie, which I would personally probably cry for days if I found out. I mean, I'd years maybe. I'd cry every day for a year if I found out that there would be a Darth Vader anthology movie.
They're gonna.
So we could see how savage Darth Vader truly was, because there's things that he did that were just absolutely mind-numbing to think that one person can actually do that and still be like, go home at the day and be like, yeah, that was fine. That's okay. Like,
right.
That's, and his
I would love to see that.
Surpassed.
I would definitely love to see that.
Yeah,
That would be great.
dude,
And
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Disney's gonna do it just because they want to milk the whole Star Wars thing.
If there was an anthology film that I would want to see, it would be on Darth Revan. That's it.
Yes.
I would love to see that. Unfortunately, that will never happen. But
No.
I would love to see that. I'm not gonna lie. But the Darth Vader one is more bound to happen than Revan, just because they basically have killed they've killed the Old Republic. Disney has murdered it, and luckily, Darth Vader.
That's what really pisses me off. Damn it! I mean,
Yeah,
like
I get it.
Like I don't have like any problem with like SWTOR. Star Wars.
No.
I have no problem. Like the trailers, I think were better than Episode 8. That's just my feeling on it. Yeah, because I mean, it captured the Star Wars feel. It captured the Star Wars feel. You had that score, like in the beginning of the the trailers, like I compare it to like the Duel of the Fates. When we first see, or when we see Darth Maul, facing off against Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. When that score first comes on, the viewer, like the viewer, gets treated to like a like action scene.
Right. I'm back to the whole Luke thing. I see why people are mad, because like you witness like your childhood hero. He was never my fucking hero, because I don't give a shit about Luke Skywalker, but it was always Darth Vader. I'm a little biased, but like I get the feeling, like seeing your hero fall, which I witnessed. I witnessed Darth Vader fall to his death, and it was very painful. It was very painful for me. So I see why it's painful for.
Luke wasn't really so much a hero as I'm looking at it as he was cheated a glorious death.
But that's just it. All heroes don't die a glorious death, and I think
they don't. That really pisses me off.
I know, I completely agree with it. Not all heroes die a heroic death. Like
it was like a symbolic victory versus an actual victory. couldn't he have at least, like taken out like a quarter of the ground forces and then died in a fiery blast,
It was his time
or
to
at
go.
least,
Dude.
or
It's
like,
not
or like,
about.
or like,
It's not
or
about.
like showcase.
The new trilogy is
No,
not
or
about.
like, I know, but it seems like they just, like wrote him out of the script, basically, without any like regard to who Luke was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Agree to disagree on that. Like I said, it's in my opinion, the new trilogy. It's not. People cling to the thought. People cling Han Solo. He died. People cling to Leia and Luke. They're gonna die. Like it's the new
and I
trilogy
have
is
no
not about
problem
them.
with that. And they're supposed to do that because they need to make room for for the new cast. But it kind of seems half-assed in terms of like what they did with Luke.
Honestly,
And not to mention,
instead of
not,
instead of dying by the hand of someone I hate, I'd rather
should
just
have
go peacefully.
he
I'd
should
rather
have
just been like,
just died. He could have lost the duel like on purpose to Kylo Ren.
but
And
that,
that would have been
that's not a heroic death.
it is.
No, it's
After
not.
after
He didn't
Okay, so
accomplish
think of what happened with like Mace Windu. So dude, he took out hordes and hordes and hordes of like droids. He should, look.
But that nigga didn't die a heroic death. He
He
died.
died from a like betrayal, from like
He let Darth Vader become Darth Vader, and Palpatine continue to be Darth Sidious. He died by their hand. I don't necessarily like a heroic death to me is like he sacrificed himself for the greater good. I mean, he let that greater good die along with him. Like that's not heroic to me. That's not heroic. A heroic
he
death
died in battle. He died in battle. Okay.
A heroic death is what
Luke should have
Holdo
died
did
in battle
in the Last Jedi.
instead of going into like going to a force access, force projecting all the way across the universe, and like dying right afterwards. I mean,
but
why?
It was necessary. It was absolutely necessary.
It was necessary for him to die, but why that way? They did him dirty,
Well,
and so did they also did that with Akbar. It's like, why did they do that? There was
they
like
did do Akbar pretty dirty. I will admit that. I was like, damn.
Like, why? I mean, like it's
they
not
killed that bitch fast.
And they didn't really put thought into this. Why did they not? Or maybe they did, and just they made the wrong call.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm kind of disappointed. Luke was like denied a glorious death. He just faded off into nothingness. Not in the middle of a duel like Obi-Wan. Not being killed by betrayal from.
I haven't met a character in Star Wars whose death was glorious though. I haven't seen it. I have not seen it yet. Like it's just not a thing. Like Han Solo died by his fucking son's hand. Like that's not glorious, man. Your son just fucking
patricide
lightsaber into your chest. Tell me what's glorious about that.
And they didn't.
It's not gonna be glorious.
And that's one of my criticisms about The Force Awakens. Like, why? I mean,
yeah, he had to die.
Yeah, right. But couldn't
They've
he
all
have
got to die.
sacrificed himself?
Dude, he did sacrifice himself. He straight tried to turn his son back, and his son was just like, "LOL, no can do, Dad. Gotta go." Like
peace.
Got peace. I hope have fun where the hell you're going. As I ram my freaking lightsaber into your chest. Like
so, here's my question. Here's my question to you. Like, John Williams did the score too for The Force Awakens. Do you have any memorable scores or scenes where it was gives you goosebumps?
Like in the Last Jedi and
Yeah.
like every
in the Last Jedi, the new trilogy, or even The Force Awakens, because I, for the life of me, personally cannot remember really anything because it just kind of sort of happens.
I would have to say on it. for me, the one that okay, I'm not gonna lie, I cried about 90% of the whole freaking movie, so I had to go see it again. It was just it was a lot. I mean, I was excited. Like the thought of seeing Kylo Ren in more scenes, like new scenes, like really had me stoked to shit. Like, I mean, just the overall feeling of it. Like I was crying 90% of the movie because there
So
were
did you
to
cry
me.
too when when he had that like super like swole chest?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was crying on
The
that one.
shirtless. Wink, wink.
Loved it. A lot of people hated that scene, but personally, the women we
Ben
loved it.
Swallow.
Ben Swallow, yes, that is the man. It was you know what? It wasn't necessary, but I'm glad it happened. I am okay with it. But I think the most memorable one was the reunion between Luke and R2-D2 when he played the clip of Leia. Like that really made me cry. That was like that hit home for me. Like that hit real home because that was like, oh, that's cute. Like they're
it would have hit home like to me if like Mark Hamill was a better actor.
I think he did
Because I
just
mean,
fine.
I kind of look at like Luke, and then I kind of look at him, and then he doesn't seem like Luke.
Because he's an older Luke.
No,
He's not.
like I know, but
He's
shouldn't
not a
it?
kid anymore, man. He's not a kid. Like he
It
can't
seems
act like a kid.
it seemed like he was like Mark Hamill, and like not Luke Skywalker. If that makes any sense.
No,
Well,
I
actually,
mean,
there was an interview with him. He said he had to imagine himself not as Luke Skywalker, but as a different Skywalker for the role. Which I respect him as an actor for meeting the needs of his director.
right, and he even said it himself. I mean, that's what he did. He respected Ryan Johnson's wishes, and that's all. I mean,
And
he
that
did
was
his
a
job.
mistake because Ryan Johnson just killed it.
To each their own, man. We all got our own opinions. I think Ryan Johnson did a phenomenal job. Telling a story. Like, doesn't
Like
matter if
when-
we agree with it. His directing style is very, very crisp, very clean, very
Very plot
intriguing.
holy.
Well,
That I enjoyed. That I actually enjoyed was the very first scene with the bombers. Okay, yeah, there was a lot of stuff wrong with it, but to me, it reminded me of World War II, where the fighters were intermingled with the bombers. To me, that was an enjoyable scene.
yeah, it was. I completely agree. It's very good.
But like space bombs though,
But
do they have gravity in space?
That's what I was saying too. Rose's, I almost said daughter. Rose's sister, when she opened the bomb bay doors to let the bombs fall, I'm putting "fall" in quotation marks. She should have died right there. With how close she was to the opening of the doors. Come on. I mean, come on, seriously. At least I know it's Star Wars and everything, but at least try to be fit. I'm done.
I could definitely see, but that's also one of those like tiny minimalistic. I mean, like I can nitpick this movie the whole fucking time. Like that's fine. Like it's one of my favorite things to do with movies.
I mean, I don't think it's like nitpicking. I mean, do they have like stuff like that in space? I mean,
what bombers?
Yeah, like space bombers. Don't they have like like proton torpedoos or photon torpedoes?
This is Star Wars.
I know. But
this is Star Trek.
like, so okay. So wait, how do you bomb something like that in space? I mean, are you like?
Dude, you just let those bitches fall right onto the freaking Star Destroyer.
But why would it like fall down?
How would it fall with no gravity?
Yeah,
man.
I fall with no
These
gravity.
So like that's why everything.
These are questions that can probably be answered, but we don't have the answers. And you know what? I don't question it. I'm just like, you know what? There's probably a logical explanation for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and go on with my way here.
Okay. But what about the whole hyperspace sacrifice? Like hold those hyperspace sacrifice. I mean,
that shit was
why?
That shit was pretty ballsy. It was very ballsy.
It was ballsy, and it like fell on its face because I mean, Like, why isn't
Dude,
why isn't
she
hyperspace?
split straight through.
Right.
She split
Okay.
straight through that juggernaut. Like she
Right.
murdered.
Why didn't they use like the 3 support ships that had fuel in it to do that, incapacitate and then jump?
Wait,
It was
are
like a
you
2
talking?
support ship.
Are you talking about the First Order? Like, why didn't they just jump?
No. Why didn't they use the 3 support ships that were there? The rebellion.
I didn't see. They only had one ship available.
They had 1, and then they had 3 support ships. Why didn't they use that to hyperspace, like at least damage the juggernaut?
They literally used the main ship because that's the only thing. That's the only thing that the Juggernaut was tracking is the main ship. That was the biggest point of the whole movie, the whole.
Right, no, I understand, but they also had the 3 support ships. Why didn't they use that? Or why did Holdo have to do it herself and not program an astromech droid to do it? And this is why I'm like saying this is like what I'm saying. This is like a failure of their leadership. Like, why wasn't this a contingency plan already?
But dude, honestly, Leia probably was just like, "Why don't you get an astromech to do it?" She was just like, probably like, you know what? I'm tired of Poe Dameron. I'm tired of the rebellion. I want to die. That's probably what she did.
I guess.
She
I would.
herself. She's tired of living. I get it.
It was unnecessary. I think. And I don't think that she was like tired of living. I think it was just they tried to make her sacrifice mean something, and it was too in your face that like for me, I totally saw through it. Like,
but also
you remember like that moment. You remember that moment where she pushes the lever forward, and then that thing like goes through space, and then crashes through the juggernaut and all that.
Yeah.
Splits it in half, and then decimates the fleet. They tried that whole Red Wedding Game of Thrones thing. Where they where everything was like silent like right after to make it all like artsy and make her sacrifice like evoke emotion. I think they tried.
I think it worked. It was very effective.
It was not. I mean, it was just okay.
It was effective to me. I kind of like me being a Dark Side fan. Like it kind of hit me. Like damn. Like holy shit. Like that was really messed up.
I'm just thinking. It's like why wasn't this already like a contingency plan? It's just a failure in leadership. I mean.
Yeah, but
really,
also.
I mean.
But here's the thing that apparently you're not understanding is that it's trial and error. Like that's all Star Wars is. It's like one side wins, one side loses, one side wins, one side loses. Not everybody.
So you're telling me there's like total, the leadership on both sides are total, idiots.
Dude, absolutely. Like no one is going to always 100% make smart decisions. That's just
I don't know, man.
For you.
If you had the best, information at the best time, that's like a poor excuse for poor leadership.
But give me an example of leadership in Star Wars that has never failed at any point in time. The whole movie of the message that the Last Jedi got to me, the whole movie was it's okay to fail because it is okay to fail. But from your failures, you're gonna learn. That's the point. You're not getting the failure point.
It would be better if like Rey, had something like that because her character, even though she's a good actress, like her character just it just seems like she's not going through those steps. Like at what point did she fail? I don't like this protagonist as much as I did Luke because
Luke she failed. She failed so many times. Number one, like that's not true at all. She got into after her little hand touch with Kylo Ren. She's just like, oh, I gotta go to Ben. Maybe I could save him. And like Luke's like, yeah, that's not a good idea at all. Like, what are you thinking? And what does she do? She like completely just ignores him, hops on this little like some stupid coffin looking plane thing out of the Millennium Falcon and flies to him to only get captured and taken to Snoke. Like, to me, that was probably one of the dumbest things you could possibly do. If I just go to him, maybe he'll turn. It's just like, hey, do you know Kylo Ren? Do you know that this kid just does not give up. Like, are you understanding what's going on here? Like that. First of all, that was one of Rey's biggest fails. Number one, like, why would you even think that was a good idea? She could barely.
But it wasn't really like to save anything or like anyone. I mean, I guess she tried.
She
it
tried to
seemed
go
kind of
save Ben
naive.
Solo. Yeah, it was
Right.
extremely naive. Like it was a big failure. Like she went to go save a man who only took her into custody to
But
his
they
supreme
really
leader.
weren't in trouble like like Han and Leia were and Chewie. I mean,
She was in
so
grave
like for
trouble.
me, I was like okay, so
She was in big
like
trouble.
why though?
Like
No, like why though? I mean, like who was in big trouble that she needed to go out and save him?
she was it. Like when she got there, she was in trouble. Like instantly. Like he just pulls out these handcuffs
And somehow somehow she like totally comes out of it okay. Like a lot of people like the Praetorian Guard fight, the Emperor Guard fight, but
it was tie shit. Yeah, no. She first of all she got straight. Basically got harassed by Snoke nonstop. I mean, like that was pretty ballsy on her part just to even step on a ship in the same ship as that man, knowing that he wants her, like he wants Rey in front of him so he can interrogate the crap out of her, do what he's got to do to make her snap or maybe even kill her, like. And it was ballsy on her part to even step on that ship, but like she was in grave danger, like.
And somehow like she totally just gets out of it by fighting like elite Praetorian guards.
Oh no!
And I'm looking at the Praetorian guards or the Emperor's guards, and like I think the first or second scene, they were doing their like martial arts poses. I think is what I could like equate that to, and they were just poses to look like intimidating.
I loved them.
But like
I thought they were so cool. I thought they were so cool.
I thought they were amateurs, really. I mean, like, who was better? That what's his name? Donnie Yen in Rogue One. That I can I can applaud.
But he also like had the Force. Like these guards probably didn't have shit. Like they weren't Force users. They were modern day guys, like getting a paycheck from this big tall guy over here.
And somehow Rey totally just like beats them. And it
she's a Force user. She's an amateur Force user, but she's a Force user. And she honestly met her match. Like most of them were fighting Kylo because he's clearly the stronger one. But she took on two and like still like got herself into some situations. Like even Kylo, like if you watch the movie again, Kylo was like looking over there, like making sure that she's doing okay. Like he was kind of scared for her life as he's like fighting 3 or 4 of them. Like one of them put him in a headlock, and like at some point he was fucked. But luckily,
and
like
he didn't use like any Force powers or anything. I mean, I'm guessing he was pretty like dark side that time, but why didn't he use it?
He was distracted. Like I said, he was distracted. He
like
would not take his eyes off her.
Even like the most like rage-inducing like dark side user would have used at least something. I mean,
like he could have. Honestly, he could have. But I think he was so in the moment that he thought that his own fighting style would be enough, because he's a great fighter. I mean, he's definitely
an okay fighter. He's like Hema.
No, he's good. He's good.
Nah, I don't think so.
He's good. He's got the moves. He's swift.
He's got slow ass like lightsaber strikes, like slow, like super slow.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. True. Watch it. It's like he's wielding a broadsword. They're freaking slow.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Broadswords are not slow.
Slower versus like versus like a Sarisu master. Okay.
No, he's not slow. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm gonna agree with you on that. He's not.
This guy's freaking slow.
No, he's not. No, he's not. His fight in The Force Awakens versus Finn I mean, Finn was slow.
That was okay blade work. Okay, that was okay.
It was extremely good. He was
All
his
right,
body
four names.
twisted
Back
and
me up on
turned in
this,
ways
man.
that
Do you think a Form 7 or a Form 3 master can dismantle Kylo Ren?
I'll say this: if Kylo Ren went up against Obi-Wan Kenobi and he performed and Kenobi, Surisu of the Clone War era, he would have easily defeated Kylo. Easy.
Just with blade work alone. We're not talking about like core stuff, you know. It's just
just with blade work alone, Kylo. How do I put this?
Yeah, but also Anakin and Obi-Wan are from different eras. Like,
understood.
Yes, I mean,
and that's why. Yeah, they're from different eras, you know.
And over time, I mean, Kylo's still very fresh to this. Like, he's extremely powerful for being so young, first of all. And so in his training technically wasn't done. Like, he was still training. Obi-Wan was a master. Like, his training had ended. Qui-Gon had taken care of this motherfucker. Just like Obi-Wan took care of Anakin by the time Anakin became a master. Like, their training was complete. Like, there wasn't much more that they could learn.
And that's what the kind of got me was I got pissed because they didn't include like really good lightsaber battles, because with a lightsaber every time, like with the Duel of the Fates, every like one wrong move will get you killed.
And Duel of the Fates was, oh boy, oh my god.
Duel of the Fates, man. And I was expecting at least something like that.
Right,
like something like butthole clenching.
Dude,
you said clenching, right? Not punching, right?
Clenching, yes. Like butthole clenching, like, oh crap, if he oh, I'm hearing but yeah, like butthole clenching, so if he makes the wrong move, then he's dead.
Right. No, I agree. Like, no, this movie definitely didn't show any like super crazy saber fights. I mean, the Praetorial Guard one was pretty awesome, and
it was okay.
I liked it. It was different, and I liked it because it was different. I think you're expecting it to be something it's never gonna be, so I think that's why you're holding on to it. But it was different. I like different. Different's always good, but it's not. I mean,
different's not always good. Like
different is always good.
No. I mean, different if it's good is good.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's a contradiction.
That's just like your opinion, man.
That. I know, yeah. Here's the contradiction of that. It's just like, oh, different's never good, but we're really mad at The Force Awakens because it was basically like A New Hope, and it's just like,
no, I didn't think different. It was like that.
No, I'm talking about like just Star Wars fans in general. It's either they hate different or they want different. Like, it's never like it's like make up your freaking mind. Like, what do you want? Like, it's like asking a woman what she wants to eat. It's just like, what do you fucking want? Like,
4 names.
Don't bring that up, Josh.
It's confusing. It's confusing.
You know what would be good like storytelling is that if you had something familiar and then like kind of like gradually ease into something different. That would be what I think would be a good story, and like simple enough that you don't have to really explain it too much, but you can like provide insight into it.
But there's just it was familiar. They threw in a lot of representations of the old movies into it.
Just like as cameos and like
and that's good. Like, cameos are great. Like, that's
I like that.
That's what really crisped up the movie. Like, the cameos, the old actors coming into the new movies. Like, that's what made it very nostalgic at the same time, but also like the different style from all 3 trilogies are very, very complex in themselves, and it's good. To me, it's just good. It's good.
I didn't like episode 8. Like, you remember that that lightsaber battle, quote unquote, with like Kylo Ren and Luke. You remember when Luke like avoided his saber?
Yeah.
And did that like crazy ass like spin cut or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah. We needed more of that. We needed more action, less drama.
Yeah, I just think this movie. I think people are looking at it too much as like it was more for character advancement and like and even though you're gonna disagree with the story progression than it was action. And it had action, and that's great. I love the action in it, but I think it was going beyond just action. Like it was more, like I said, character development. Like you see these characters do some crazy stupid shit, and like you're like, wow, like you became
Like
stupid. Like what happened?
like Finn. What was his character development? I mean, he was willing to sacrifice for his life against the First Order in the first movie.
His character, he went from a stormtrooper and he's officially a rebel. Like he was fighting like a rebel. Like you don't really
I think if they had removed like a lot of that stuff, like that whole Rose, like everybody hated Rose. Everybody I know hated Rose.
yeah, she wasn't. I didn't really enjoy her.
And okay, and this is that thing about the script too, or maybe the acting, or both. I don't know which. I don't think I've decided yet. You remember when when she was given back that that medallion thing, the half that her sister had.
Yeah.
She was supposed to look sad and like look relieved that she got it back. That pain that she was feeling, it didn't really translate. Like
And
at least to me.
that's the actor's part. Yeah, I mean,
it just
Kelly Marie Tran, she's mediocre at best, and I think that was her character was definitely unnecessary for the movie.
it was a mistake for the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. Like she brought no real, story.
Value.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely value. Yeah, she wasn't very valuable at all. But I think they were just fishing, like because they were like, oh, these new characters in the last movie were a hit. Let's bring in some new ones, like Holdo and Kelly Marie Tran, and let's see how they do. And people were like, okay, we got new characters last movie. I think we just want to see those characters this movie. Like that's fine.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? Like, have you guys ever seen British TV shows where you get really invested into it, like after a couple seasons, and then they kill off like all the characters or like a whole bunch of the characters that you fell in love with, and then they introduce new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
Like it kind of felt rushed. It didn't have like a like a structured something that'll at least like ease them into it. Like with American TV shows, if they introduce a new character, they'll go over like half a season or like a quarter of the season.
Right.
Like introducing a new character, and they didn't do that with The Force Awakens. They just like, oh, here's some new characters.
And I mean I liked the fact that they brought in new characters, because I mean taking like actors, well-known actors, and adding it to Star Wars, like it's, for instance, like say the
Daniel Craig, hell yes.
No, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, say they got like freaking like Megan Fox to play Rey. Like I don't see Megan Fox. I don't see that as Rey. I see it as Megan
I don't
Fox.
see it as Rey. Like, she's not.
Yeah, dude, she's not Rey. So like bringing in a new face, like you no longer. We don't know this girl. We don't know other. We haven't really watched other movies with her. Like we don't see anybody else but this girl named Rey. Like Daisy Ridley will always be known as Rey. She's not going to be known as just Daisy Ridley. And I think that's a very brilliant idea on Disney's part. It's like starting a trilogy with new faces. And of course, because one of my favorite TV shows was Girls, which Adam Driver played very well in. Like, but he is also a very advanced actor, to where I don't see him as Adam Sackler from Girls. I still see him as Kylo Ren, but he still wasn't very well known. Like he was
right. He's definitely a good actor.
He's
give him
brilliant.
That. He's
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Because you could see like when he's playing like how much of a like a child he is.
Oh yeah.
Well, Kylo Ren is. Not
yeah.
Adam Driver, but
he brings a lot to Kylo Ren, and his everything that he's a method actor. Like every like hand motion, facial expression, like every body movement that he makes is a part of his character. It's not He's not just
that facial expression thing, like when he realized like that it was Luke walking out of the out of that base.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
just see him just
That
like
conflict of emotion, it's there for a second, then it stops,
right.
and then he's like totally like a hard ass again.
All right.
That was great on his part.
He's angry as shit, man. I mean, a switch inside of him flipped as soon as he saw Luke, and it was like, I'm in the movie there, just like, holy shit.
And the thing that kind of like took away from that was that whole Hux thing. With him and Hux, I'm the supreme leader now. No, I am.
I fucking love that. Like,
I
especially
hated that.
when
That's
like,
it
I
wasn't
loved
necessary.
it.
If they wanted,
No,
if
it
they
was
wanted a
completely
comedy, do a comedy, because it was like totally out of place.
Dude, no, it was perfect because, like, like I love the dynamic between Tarkin
It
and
looked like
Darth Vader. Like, we saw, but here's the thing: like, the original trilogy showed that like that mutual respect between Tarkin and Darth Vader and how they work together, and like it's very important to see like like a commander, like the supreme commander versus like the dark side user. Like, I think that's very important to see, and we saw it like when him and Hux, like he was just like
Hux looks like he has like he has like a rape dungeon.
I love Hux.
That's how Hux for me is. He's like weird in like a German dictator kind of way.
Yeah, dude, he was. I mean, that they made that kind of clear across that he was very German dictator-ish, and I think that was awesome. But also, like, the dynamic between the two is just fucking hilarious, especially when
They should have waited a little bit, I think.
And like Hux was like, he was just like, fire on that man, and Hux was just like, no, don't. And like you just see Kylo like lift his body and like smash him, and like the drivers of the AT-AT were like, yes sir, doing it. Like, I personally love that shit. Like, that's great. I love seeing their dynamic, and it's like I said, it's very like nostalgic to Tarkin and Darth Vader. Like, like the millennial side of the dark side of Star Wars now can't get along, but the baby boomer side they did get along, and it kind of shows like our age and shit like that. So I think it's cool. I love Hux. He's funny as shit.
Yeah, he is. I kind of like him just because I just really want him to die, but but I think that scene could have benefited if they had like like waited for like the comedy, because it was a totally serious moment, and then they interjected like comedy into it, and it kind of just broke that whole the seriousness of the whole like the situation. It's like, oh crap, that's Luke Skywalker there. But what's he gonna do?
I personally loved when he tossed the freaking saber, because I know everybody was just like, I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting it either. I was just like, oh. But like, it was funny that it happened. Like, I liked that it happened. But hey, Rio, I mean, that's the beauty of Star Wars, is like, we can all agree to disagree, because not everybody's gonna have the same opinion on it. And I think that's not, if everybody had the same opinion on it, I think we'd all be kind of bored and be like, fuck you, we can't have a Star Wars battle because you agree with everything I agree with. Like,
well, no, unfortunately, there are people that do that, but not because they agree, because they disagree. I really appreciate that. We're able to talk about this civilly versus like some of the other people on like Facebook.
oh yeah. I try not to anymore. If I see it, I try not to pop in on any conversations about it, just because I know it never goes well.
Land.
Yeah, as people are crazy. I mean, and people like, I would consider myself a hardcore Star Wars fan. I mean, extremely hardcore. Like, my life is Star Wars, basically, is what it feels like. So like, but like, talking to like other hardcore Star Wars fans who like take this shit, like, I take Star Wars seriously to a certain extent. It's just like, I'm not gonna ruin friendships over it, but also at the same time, if you want to talk about it like adults, we can talk about it like adults. I think that's the biggest the biggest problem in the Star Wars community is no one knows how to talk about it like it just
Yeah, like,
adult.
why don't you stop being a fan, you fake fan?
Yeah, you fake fan. Like, fuck you, you fake fan. You don't even like Star Wars. It's just like, I don't.
Bitch, please.
I was born in it, molded by it.
I'm molded by it. People are nuts. They're crazy. People are crazy. Star Wars fans are crazy, but also Star Wars fans at the same time are some of the most toxic people. Like,
Yeah.
toxic ass people, and it's just like, and in the lot, I know Christy, our Empress, has talked about dipping out of the the Star Wars community because of it, and it's just like it's agreeable because especially because this whole shit with Battlefront 2 and like it's just like what and like the hate that Disney's been getting.
Are there still people playing Battlefront 2?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Huh?
I saw a streamer do it today. He loves it. It's one of his favorite things ever.
What about like regular Battlefront, like Battlefront 1?
I mean,
like community?
You mean like 2004 Battlefront, or like
No, the 2013, 12, 13, yeah.
I still have it. It was kind of bittersweet because when I went into the midnight release of Battlefront 2 and I bought it, like I deleted the 2013 or whatever year it came out. I deleted it off my Xbox and I was like, oh, bittersweet, goodbye. And now I'm just like, I want to re-download it. I want to re-download it so bad. What did I do? I fucked up. I fucked up hard. And you know what? I still haven't picked it up since the beginning of December. And you know what? I'm not gonna for a while. For a long time.
Because it's all about Siege, baby.
Because it's all about Siege. Yup. But yeah. Anybody else got anything to share about The Last Jedi? All I know is that Trent needs to go see it immediately.
Yeah, it's
the 6 months after shit is not gonna work, Trent. I'm sorry. You fake fan.
Watch me. Watch me.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, I'm having fun playing Stalker till my eyes bleed. If there's nothing else, gone an hour and 15-ish minutes. Is there anything else?
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yep.
What about you, Four Names?
I'm done.
All right, so we got
talk about it. I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Oh, and she dipped. What?
Well, apparently, that has been our discussion. It was well thought out, or at least civil. And without further ado, we'll end the show here. Cool music play, the lights go down. We'll catch you whenever the next show is. Bye.